In our garden, there's a spot where sunlight hardly ever reaches. It's just too shaded for growing vegetables. So instead of letting that space go unused, we thought, why not turn it into something useful? A composting area seemed like a perfect idea, but we wanted a solution that wouldn't look messy or start smelling bad. That's when we decided to turn an old plastic water tank into a compost bin. Let's go step by step. First, we'll need to make a large hole at the bottom of the tank. This hole is important because it lets earthworms come and go. Earthworms are nature's little helpers in composting. They break down materials and make the compost rich and healthy. Plus, the hole will allow extra water to drain out, especially on rainy days, so we don't end up with a waterlogged bin. Next, we'll drill smaller holes all around the tank. These holes keep the air flowing inside, which is a big help in stopping any bad smells. Airflow helps everything break down more evenly, so the materials don't become too wet or dry. Once the tank is ready, we'll set it in that shady corner of the garden. Now it's time to start filling it. The first layer we'll add is a bit of decomposed manure or compost at the bottom. This layer acts like an invitation to earthworms and jumpstarts the whole process. But if you don't have compost or manure on hand, that's okay. You can skip this part. Now we add the compost materials. These can include grass clippings, fresh manure, chicken droppings, fresh leaves, kitchen scraps, and a bit of soil. Mixing a good variety helps things break down faster. Ideally, we want a mix of greens, like leaves and vegetable scraps, and browns, like soil and straw. Greens give nitrogen, and browns add carbon, both important for composting. After loading in the materials, we'll add another thin layer of decomposed manure or compost to keep things moving. Then we sprinkle a little water on top, just enough to make it damp. Water is essential because it helps the microbes, tiny organisms, break down the compost. They, along with the earthworms, will turn all this waste into rich, healthy compost for our garden. One thing to remember, avoid adding dairy products, meat, or any cooked food. These attract pests and can start to smell bad. Sticking with plant-based scraps, grass, leaves, and soil will keep things fresh and working as they should. Once the composting process gets going, you can give the mixture a little stir now and then to keep it aerated. In a few months, you'll notice a dark, rich compost forming at the bottom, perfect for nourishing the plants in your garden. Turning an unused tank into a compost bin is a great way to transform an overlooked spot in your garden, and it's easy to maintain. If you enjoyed this guide, please like, share, and subscribe for more gardening tips.